We can't sit back and wait for others to act. We have to take responsibility for the problem and take action ourselves. And that's why we are combining our new reform limiting the serving size of sugary drinks with an expanding public education campaign.
I love eating fatty foods. I love sugary drinks. And I'm having them to celebrate the failure of Michael Bloomberg. See, it doesn't matter if you live in New York. Bloomberg has been the template for food bans across the continent. No matter where you live, you've likely had someone at your city hall, your public health department say, we've got to follow New York's lead. Well, it turns out that after more than 10 years of Bloomberg being in power, obesity in the city has gone up despite his nanny statism. 2002, 18.2% of all New Yorkers were considered obese. Now the city's health department says it's 24.2%. That's a 25% jump. And his big push on sugary drinks, well, it's not because everyone's drinking too much Mountain Dew or Coke. No, 2007, 36% said they had one or more sugary drink a day. 2012, the latest numbers from the New York City Health Department, 28%. Is Mayor Bloomberg just a tiny fat loser? Well, let's turn to Gavin McInnes. He may be a Canadian, but he resides in the Big Apple now. Gavin, your thoughts on Bloomberg's failure? Does it make you happy to know that he's such a loser?
Yes, it does. I love seeing big government fail. He is a little annoying, terrible little man. And it's worth considering that big government brought us here to this obesity epidemic. They banned bullying, right? They told kids they're beautiful any way they are. And they taught everyone not to feel bad about themselves. And then they also pushed safety and said, don't go outside. So they made these huge fat Americans. There's 500,000 Americans die a year from obesity-related causes, and the government can't fix it.
Look, I'm not going to deny that obesity is a problem. Look at me. But, how do you deal with it? And I think you're right. We've become the safety-conscious society to the point where kids aren't allowed to go outside. I don't know what it's like at your home. My wife's pretty lenient on that. She's always trying to kick the kids out. But we know other parents who are, oh, no, Johnny, you can't do that. Oh, no, Susie, you can't do that because it's too dangerous. And then they wonder why the kids sit there like bumps on a log.
My kid has a cast in his arm right now, and he's the only kid in school with a cast in his arm because kids don't go out, they don't take risks, they don't have fun. And you should see them. They're fat. And there's this campaign Bloomberg is pushing now called I'm Beautiful Just the Way I Am. I'm a Girl, and it has all these girls wanting to feel good about themselves because he said that girls are worried about being fat. You should be worried about being fat. These kids wear their pajamas to school, and they look like spheres. They should feel terrible.
Hold on. They shouldn't feel bad about themselves for being fat. He's the one that's been pushing, saying we've got an obesity crisis. We've got to fix this. So we're going to ban trans fats. We're going to ban salt. There were synagogues that regularly made food for the homeless and then would take it, and it's been rejected because they can't tell the salt content of the food they'll be giving to the homeless. I mean, this is what Bloomberg has brought about, this huge campaign, all these bans, and now he's saying, well, feel good about yourself for being the way you are, even though I've been running a campaign to get rid of it?
This is just perfect evidence of how government makes things worse when they try to control people. Communism's got 100 million dead in their death toll, and that was all based on the greater good. They can't fix it. Leave us alone.
You've got an election coming up. Bloomberg, he should have been gone several years ago. I think this last term may have been his worst. But he changed the law so that he could have 3 terms. You're most likely going to get the guy who won the Democratic nomination, Bill de Blasio.
Yeah.
Is he worse than Bloomberg? I mean, to me, he seems like an outright Marxist, an open Marxist.
He's an open Marxist. I mean, he supported the Sandinistas. He is a nut bar who's totally out of touch with what goes on in the city, and he's pushing to stop and frisk, and he's going to make the ghetto a lot more dangerous for black people. It's going to be worse. It's going to be like Dinkins. We're going to go back to the scary New York.
So he wants less police, but I'm going to guess that he's going to want to stop me from being able to get French fries on every street corner.
Yeah, he's the worst of all previous mayors combined. He wants to cripple the police force, but also retain this sort of Bloomberg nanny state where we get told what we can do all day. It's going to be rough. The cops, I know some cops, and they are petrified of this election because they think this is going to be a war zone.
This story broke a couple of days ago. Have you heard from Bloomberg? Has he been out in the media saying, well, I admit I'm a failure, or is this just getting a pass from everybody but, say, the New York Post?
No, he's great at PR. I mean, he says the smoking ban was him. The world banned smoking. You can't smoke on a train in Germany, but he's taking credit for that and says, I've cut smoking down. So he just takes the good things and ignores the bad, which I guess all mayors do. Well,
it sounds like pretty much every politician. I feel for you in the city you're going to be living in. It'll make Jim Watson here in your old hometown seem like a libertarian.
Yeah, well, I'd arm myself, but it's illegal to even own a BB gun here.
All right, Gavin, great talking to you as always. We'll chat soon, my friend. Email me your thoughts on this, byline@sunmedia.ca, and we'll post some links up for where you can find more of Gavin McInnes. Stick around.